talk about using a spacer. Spacer is actually very important because when you're helping a child with an asthma attack, it's very hard to time. Very hard to time it because the medicine needs to be here. If it just sits in the mouth, it's not going to work. It must be here or here. It's very hard to time the pumping and the breathing. So if you don't have, if the child doesn't have a spacer, just roll a piece of paper and this will be your spacer.
It's like a little chamber, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have.
Now also be aware, some children they carry what's called a Turbine Feeler. So this one you don't need to time anything. This is a little different from the pump that you usually see. In order to activate it, you turn it one way, you turn it the other way, you hear a click. You guys can hear the click, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you may want to shake it before.
This is a...
Yes, that's a normal move.
Yep. I just started it because I had a really bad cold and I kept wheezing, so they gave me, I had to go to the hospital actually, like I couldn't breathe. So, yeah. But they gave me a chamber too, which I normally carry with me.
Right. Can you show people what that is?
I don't have a chamber with me today, but...
Oh, you don't? It's okay.
No.
All right. So you're going to shake it before, but after you hear this click, don't shake it, don't drop it because the powder will come out. Just hand it to the child. That's it, administered. If they need a second dose, again, listen for the click. Second dose, that's it, much easier. Now I have a question for you guys. Do we ever give somebody else's medication to another child? Never. Okay? The reason is because there's three reasons. Number one, it's not clean. Number two, we're not doctors, we're not sure the right medicine. And number three, there's a school policy against that because other kids like to share, kids like to share medication to try and get high on the inhalers.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yes. And just for your information only, my heart will beat a little bit faster. It's like going on a roller coaster, but it's totally fine.
That's what actually happened to me. I was at home and I went into a coughing spell and then something blocked my airway. My daughter's asthmatic, so she went and got her inhaler. I took 2 puffs. It cleared me up enough that I could get to the hospital.
Okay, good, good.
So
good. And you actually brought up a very important point. Now remember I said don't share medication, right? But Kathy just told us a story where it saved her life.
yeah.
So now the question becomes, let's just say you have one child that asthmatic, having asthma attack, but she forgot her inhaler. From the nose, bleeding from the ears, or you feel an area that's really hard. It's swollen, hard, internal bleeding, because it's bleeding inside but nowhere to go. But nothing we can do is per se. You just have to recognize it and then wait for it.
Yeah, because I'm curious, like, if he's got damage to his chest and we can't see that, and we start CPR, would we be damaging him?
Oh, okay. Thanks for okay.
I've done a body check and all over. He's not
Thanks
breathing
for
now.
asking that question. You know, that's actually a very important question. Now, Bob, can you ask the question again?
Can you perform CPR? Like how do you know? Like, okay, say you feel what you said, the hardness. Okay, how do you perform
And
CPR?
you're worried about doing more damage because there's internal bleeding, right?
Or even that blood, but do I push that into the system to where it's not supposed to go?
Okay, so here's my answer to that. And this question is such a good question because a lot of students actually ask this question and they phrase it a different way. They said, whether I do CPR or whether I help a person who's bleeding, how do I avoid more damage? Like, let's just say the person is cut with glass, and they got glass here, and I tell you to stop bleeding by putting direct pressure. Am I not doing more damage by doing this?
Yes.
Okay? So here's my answer to both Bob and that student. You are going to try your best as a first aider to avoid doing more damage. So you're going to look at the situation because every situation is different. If there's glass, obviously you're going to take a cloth, okay? Don't cut your hand, first of all. Try to stop the bleeding with a cloth, or maybe try to wiggle around. Use your finger and try to wiggle around. Try your best to stop the bleeding without doing more damage. But if you do more damage, who cares? You need to stop the bleeding. Okay? Now, to specifically answer Bob's question, he says, oh, when I'm doing CPR, and I notice there's internal bleeding there, how do I avoid doing more damage? Yes, you are going to try your best, okay, to do the compression without doing more damage to that area. But the first priority is to get him to start breathing. So it does not matter. If you do more damage, you do more damage. It's too bad. Like, you are not, first of all, you are not God. You cannot do everything. Second of all, you're not the person that created the problem. You didn't create that situation. You're just trying your best to help. So just make sure he can breathe. Whatever damage, further damage you do, yeah, let the doctors fix. That's all you can do. So Bob, did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I was going to show you guys how to do the recovery position. Even though the video already showed you guys, I wanted to show you guys again because you guys seem to be interested, which is good. And the reason why the recovery position I want to show you guys is because it's such a simple thing that you're doing, but it is so important you do it. If you don't do it and the person vomits, they will die. So, how do we do the recovery position? Oh, so you guys may have to stand up and do this.